Esteemed audience, for those watching us at home, across the continent, all over the globe, thank you for tuning in to watch the KBC Channel 1, the home of best debates.
And only on the Great Debaters Contest, this is Kisumu Region, the semi-finals. I am your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
And I am Chris Boru. Debating on matters government and national unity, we have the lovely ladies from Kisumu Girls High School.
They're proposing the motion, devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration. And opposing this motion, we have the gentlemen from Kanga Boys who have come this far on their first attempt at the contest.
Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
You know, the Swahili said that haba na haba hujaza kibaba. The more we sweep the disadvantages of devolution under the carpet, the more the national integration deteriorates in our country, Kenya. My name is Benita Ulwoch from Kisumu Girls, and I propose the motion that states, devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration. Devolution is the act of giving power from a central authority, national government, to a local authority, county government. Hindrance is the act of making it more difficult for somebody to do something or for something to happen. National refers to that which belongs to a nation. Integration is the bringing together of various parts, which according to this motion, the various parts include ethnic groups, religion, and social status, together in a way that makes them one. National integration, when we combine these two words, we get national integration, which is the bringing different ethnic communities using ways that make them one nation. A nation is a large community of people that share a common history, culture, and language, living in a particular territory under one government. Remember to note that we have 47 counties in Kenya, each having their own county government. So on to my first point. Why do I say that devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration? First and foremost, divisions in terms of federations and regions. Most of these counties are ethnic-based. Therefore, each county stands and fends for itself despite being a nation. Each region is left to develop itself, hence some lag behind in development. We have Kisumu County. Around 65%, as the nation states, are people that include Luos. We go to Kakamega County, where around 63.25% include Luyas. Let's go down to the coastal regions where we have the Michikendas and the different tribes which come from the coastal Bantus. What am I trying to say? When we propose that devolution, when we say that devolution in Kenya does not bring any hindrance to national integration, I think we're very wrong, because when our counties are divided and put in sectors according to different types of ethnic communities. My second point is that we are duplicating our countries, our leaders. So when we duplicate them, we have double MCAs. We have MCAs who are MPs in the national government. The president becomes the county government, the governor. Then the deputy president becomes the deputy government becomes the governor. With these reasons, I say that devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration. Thank you.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, now before you is Evans Okinyi from Kanga High School, ready to again lead my team in strongly opposing this motion that states that devolution is a hindrance to national integrity. Devolution, the statutory granting of power from the government of a sovereign state to a government of a subnational level. That's according to Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. National integration, the act of bringing together groups of people with different religious, ethnical, cultural, ideological, and ethnical identities for mutual cooperation. And actually, hindrance means that is an obstacle to a common goal that somebody wants to achieve. That is also according to Oxford Highlanders Dictionary. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sad as I stand here because somebody cannot actually flash back and remember where Kenya was back then. My memories are still fresh of what took place in the year 2007, whereby people were killed mercilessly. Several people lost their lives. Several others were displaced. But what was the reason why this took place? You find that our country is divided along political and tribal lines. And this is why the leaders came together and saw that we could not continue moving this way. A solution had to be found to the problem that was facing Kenya. And that is why the issue of devolution was included in the newly promulgated Constitution of Kenya that was done in the year 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, the main reason why devolution was actually brought, or rather introduced in the new Constitution, was to promote national integrity in this country since we had lost the same. Therefore, I'd like to say that this is very true. One, devolution, as we have seen, is that it has enhanced food production in the country. We all know that agriculture is a devolved function. Being a devolved function, it is under the county governments. And according to a report that was given by a lobby group, that is the Agricultural and Applied Economics Association. This is an association that was actually formed in the year 1999. And these people gave a report on 6 August 2016 on actually the development of devolution. And they say that since its invention, devolution has immensely increased agricultural production. Now, every county right now, every county that is agriculturally productive is trying to do all it can so that it can actually increase agricultural production in this country. This will help us to curb food insecurity. And therefore, it will also ensure that there is production of surplus agricultural products. And thus will promote inter-regional subsistence trade, enhance cultural exchange, and good governance. Ladies and gentlemen, would you not be proud if you receive goods from Western, from Central, from Lowland, from every part of this great country? And that is as a result of agriculture that is promoted by devolution. Thank you so much.
Second proposal, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
A wise man once said that in life it's the little things that matter the most. So when our opposers want to say that devolution does not hinder national integrity, I do believe they're wrong. Our friend said that in 2007, we had a lot of loss of lives. But also in 2017, we lost lives. So when he's trying to tell me that devolution, the idea of devolution came up to curb this problem, how has it? It has not. We are still losing lives. Even in 2018, people have still lost lives because of political instability. So I don't understand how that has curbed that solution. He said that apparently due to devolution, agricultural production has increased. Then if it has increased, then why are we facing food insecurity in Kenya and in Africa? I would like him to answer that. You see, devolution has led to the slowdown of decision making, whereby we have the county government before we go to the central government. So when they come to a solution, first the central government has to go to the Senate, from the Senate to the executive. Just look at that. We are wasting time. If something is critical, it will take longer. So we are suffering, and when we suffer, we tend to bring riots. If that's how they want to bring us together using riots, then I don't think that that is okay. It also led to the unnecessary duplication of roles, whereby we have the president. In the county, we have the governor. We have the deputy governor, whereas we have the deputy president. The MCAs who represent the MPs. If that is so, then let each and every county be independent, like their own country. Because after all, we are paying all of them to play the same role. we are losing money. That money could have been invested in something else, which would have catered for job opportunities, which is a major problem in Kenya, which is leading to crime rates. That's why we are not united in some of these regions. So you want to tell me that the revolution in Kenya is leading to national integrity? How? I want the statistics, and I want every source that they say that. Also, we can also say that there was a time where they said, after all, we had the Pwani si Kenya, yes, and we still had devolution. So I'm wondering, we still have devolution, and people are still saying that Pwani si Kenya. How? It doesn't matter whether we are devolved or not. That's what they think, but it does, because after all, they are devolved, but they're still making us fight. So people, help me in joining this motion that says devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integrity.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
Once again, I make my way to the stage only to meet devastation. It's Otinga Josephat again from Kanga School. First, I would absolutely agree that the devolution, that is the counties, are based on ethnicity. According to the report given by the NCIC chair, His Excellency, I will quote, Honorable Ole Kaparo, at least 97.9% of the workers in Nyamira County are from a Bagusi community, while in the neighboring Kisii County, 97.5% of the staff, of the 3,606 members of the staff are from the same county. Look it from this view. If we can agree as members of this county, work to our level best, and then afterwards, we produce the best we can from our country, don't you think that the extent of these ideas from these counties will end up in a very big product, a very tangible product that will help our country move to the next level? Don't you? The proposers, I want to urge you, since you were saying that devolution is a hindrance to the national integration. Therefore, devolution is based on the new constitution. If you are against the devolution, then you should then part with the Lancaster Constitution. But we have the new devolution with us, making good use of it. That is why we match up with this devolution. We want to have all this in place so that we boost national integration, One of the proposers also mentioned that still in 2007-2008 post-election clash, according to the figures given by UNHCR and the GTRC, that is the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission, that more people died in 2007 than 2008. A very big way, a very great way of opposing the motion. Because if lesser people died in 2017 and 2007 was there by then devolution has been a factor to help us in that sector. It has reduced the number of deaths. Because in 2017, equally lesser people died. I will therefore oppose the motion that devolution is not a major issue. It's not an issue in hindrance of national integration. Therefore, matters like we have got, for instance, in our country, everything being put in place for the good of the nations. If you allow me, there are issues like national representation in the executive, where devolution compares that for a president to get to the throne, he must have, according to the Constitution, Article number 4, Chapter 9, Section 138, that he should at least have 25% of the votes cast in each country, at least more than a half. Therefore, I want to pose a question to the girls that I will ask them not to answer for their own good. Hasn't devolution done you good? Isn't the name of your school been raised? Since you are the only girls' school, national girls' school in the county. For it to be national, it promotes national integration. Since the national school has got people from all over the country. Thank you. God bless you.
The The proposers have been asked to make a comparison of the development in the country before the introduction of devolution and afterwards. Has it become better or has it become worse? The opposers, on the other hand, have been asked, what is the role of devolution in the decreased number of post-election deaths in 2017 and 2007? Would they state and give proof that shows that devolution is a direct factor in the reduction of the number of deaths? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
I can hear the sound of a clock inside my head. Tick, tock. It's not my biological clock. No, it's not. It's the time bomb amongst us, amongst the Kenyans, that is going to explode if it isn't taken care of. You asked me, I should compare Kenya right now, after devolution and before devolution. Yes, we are more developed now, but we are more developed in debt. My unborn child owes the government 200,000 Kenyan shillings. Why? Because they borrowed more than they could incur for. So, what's the need of developing in debt? You are eating more than you are earning. Why? Tell me why. That's a question for you. Remember, they have said that in 2018, the loss of lives decreased. But I want to tell you something. It doesn't matter if the loss of lives decreased. I want a country whereby after an election, I do not have to worry about my brother who is in a community that he doesn't belong to. Do you know why? That lost life might have been my answer to corruption, might have been the next big thing in this world. Trust you me, one life matters a lot. My mother taught me table manners in the most simple way ever. Michelle, sit up. Michelle, remove your hands from the table when you're eating. Don't put your elbows on the table. But a governor in Kenya spends 130 million Kenya shillings to educate 280 students on how to use a fork, spoon, and knife and a glass of wine. Tell me, where is this student going to use that in school? Tell me, where? According to Tuko, a governor bought a wheelbarrow worth 100,000. You know, my question is, does it have a different purpose than the wheelbarrow that the common wananchi uses? And you're claiming devolution is the cause, is not a hindrance to national integration. You know, we are all fighting against corruption in Kenya. How are you fighting against corruption when the corrupt is within you? Kikulacho kinguoni mwako. Trust you me, if we do not get rid of devolution, we will get to see the real devil in devolution. Thank you. Michelle Kwamboka, Kisumu Girls High School.
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
Odhiambo Ataka Samuel, Kanga School. And before I answer the question that has just been forwarded, I'd first like to make some few clarifications. It is 100, every child or every individual in Kenya is indebted to 110,000 shillings. So if you're going to say something, say it right. On to the second thing, we find that whatever she has just tackled does not aim at ethnicity. She's diverging and going into corruption and targeting what has not been asked. Second thing, get your facts right. Now, on to the question. We find that from the TJRC report of 2013, Kenyans were divided by ethnicity and political lines, which led to the fighting witnessed in 2007, 2008, post-election violence. Let us not all recall that event. It's bloody. But yet we come again and we find that in 2017, we've all heard of hashtag stop police brutality. Sorry. Where do you think this is from? Is this from ethnicity? No way.
This is because those lives lost in the 2017 post-election skirmishes were from police brutality. So that is to show you. And first, the TJRC report is sourced from the Standard Online 2013. And also, devolution has brought intertwining of the counties and individuals, in that from Chapter 11 of the Constitution, the Constitution allocates a third of county government offices and jobs to minority ethnic groups in all counties to be implemented under strict observance of pressure groups and constitutional groups, like, for example, Wamama na Katiba. So that is just to say, you have people from another ethnic community working for you. Why would you attack them and kill them? This is to show that indeed devolution has not fostered ethnicity. And yet again, ladies and gentlemen, according to a report by Abdi Wabab Abdi, a human rights activist, in the year 2015, it clearly states that the struggles faced by the Somali community. We all know that the Somali community is already part of us. It's part and parcel of our community in Kenya, living in Eastleigh, as we all know. But yet, we're looking at how they came from Somalia and came to settle in Eastleigh. We find that after a decree was given from UNHCR, they moved into Kenya and settled in Eastleigh. Devolution allowed for them to be settled there by the government and even given funds to start their own economic activities, which has also led to economic development in Nairobi. A recent survey by the Nairobi County government shows that the revenue earned from Eastleigh contributes to 27% of its national income, of its overall income, which is brought by devolution. So, ladies, again, get your facts right. Samuel Athaka, thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute for a final submission.
Devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration. They said that corruption was out of this contest, but does corruption lead to national integration? I leave them with that question to answer. I still insist that devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration because we have seen we have more disadvantages than advantages. We might be falling today, but that does not mean we cannot rise and soar like eagles tomorrow. I still stand firm and say that devolution in Kenya is a hindrance to national integration. Thank you.
Opposers, you have 1 minute for a final submission.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have gone through all the causes of national disintegration in this country, and have not gotten devolution to be a cause of national disintegration in this country. Some of these causes that I've identified are like conflicting political ideologies, religious conflicts, tribalism, poverty, ignorance, corruption, and power struggle. Devolution is not a reason for any kind of national integration in this country. It is very clear from the facts that we've tabled, and you cannot come here actually and convince me that we blame or rather peg our failure as a nation, or rather the kind of integration that is in this country on devolution. Actually, it has enabled us to be a kind of nationally integrated as a nation, and that is where we want to move to as Kenyans. As Kenyans, we must remain united, and this we can only achieve through promotion of national integration through devolution. Thank you.
Kisumu girls, Benita, your divinations were apt, and you gave statistics on the tribal numbers that are really giving us a concern on the integration, or whether we are building more on tribal blocks and boundaries that you noted. But when the argument itself came, there was that issue of duplication of leaders. And the economic pitfalls that work on it. That was also good. Barbara, you are one that really gave us the fact that there is this problem of food insecurity. But you failed to show us how county governments have contributed to the same food insecurity in given regions. Kwamboka, you answered the question, but you did not go to integration. You went to corruption. And that is deviating from the topic of discussion, because you should have been cautious enough to remember that the question is not about corruption, it's about what? Integration. So how could that issue that is noted before and after bringing about integration? So you are supposed to look at integration before the proclamation of the Constitution and after the same that had been enacted.
I think my expectations were not met. Looking at the nature of the motion, I expected a heated argument here, which I really didn't get. You didn't have quite a number of points. Your deliberations were circulating around 2-3 points. You kept on repeating them over and over again. To both teams, the issue of national integration didn't come out very, very clearly. Whatever your argument was, you were to tie it to national integration. Thank you.
And now for the numbers. In this semi-final debate, the judges awarded Kanga High School 72%. Let's appreciate them. Kisumu Girls High School, our host schools for Kisumu region. The judges saw it fit to award you with a difference of 1%. 71%, making Kanga the winners of the debate. Congratulations to both schools for making it to the semi-finals and giving us a good debate.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to the Great Debaters Contest. We'd like to appreciate everyone who've been able to make this show a reality, from our sponsors, Blaze by Safaricom, Brand Kenya Board. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you the conversation still continues across all our social media handles with the hashtag GDC for SDGs. That's been all from us here at the Great Debaters Contest. I have been your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. Catch you in the next episode.